Good day, everybody. This is John Scarborough and Savannah Scarborough. I guess she's not going to say hey to the camera. She's over there working on social media stuff right now. We're doing a little bit of work out here in the pasture. We are trying to make life a little bit easier for setting up post and setting up small paddocks and stuff. In the summertime, Savannah, tell them what it's like in the summertime.
Miserable.
Well, what I mean is, what is it like for setting paddocks up and putting in your step-in post?
The ground is hard and you break all your posts.
Yeah, well, you could at least. You definitely. Some of them you just can't get them in. Yeah, I mean, even the best quality brands that there are, I mean, we can't get them in. The only thing we can use is make a rebar post and actually drive it in the ground with a hammer, and then it's just a big hassle. And sometimes we do that. But you know, there are ways around it, and we're going to have videos that are going to teach you all that. But this right here is one of the tactics that we use. Is we like to set up semi-permanent places that we can set up temporary wires that eliminate the need for as many posts as possible. So I'm going to walk you past here, try to make a fairly quick video. I'm going to get Savannah to pull a little tension on this wire. Actually, I can do it myself right here. Just pull some light tension so you can kind of see it. Savannah, could you give me a hand here? Yeah. Just pull some tension on that and wrap it up where it can't come loose real quick. So we're out here just kind of moving all this. But we're anchored to a tree here, and this is not going to cut out. This is not going to give you every paddock that there is, but it gives you more anchor points, because now you can anchor to this coming this way, but you can also anchor to that tree and go up that way and make a small paddock. And then it eliminates the amount of step-in post that you have, because we really have had some serious issues. I mean, we got nothing but hard clay in a lot of our pastures. And it gets extremely difficult. And there are ways around some of this, but we're going to show you more of it. But this is one of the ways that we find. You can see here we're just hooked off there to another one, and we just kind of caddy cornered around. And then we used a timeless T-post right here to pull ourselves off. I put it at a little bit of a cant backwards, just a little bit at an angle. If you can tell there. When you use these timeless T-posts, always make sure, that's what I love about these, is they've got a really good place right there at the sticker. You just stop driving it in the ground. But what I did here, I just put a little bit of a hook. I'd use some of this soft galvanized wire, and I'll see if I can put a link in the description where you can get some of this soft galvanized 12 gauge wire. But you can take and just loop it around that way, and then take it off, and it's easy to get off, and then loop it back in. Make sure you got no sharp edges so you don't tear up your wire. But that works really good there. So that's a good hard spot there. Then you got here, this is just more examples. You can tell we used just 2 trees to bridge across our little small mini creek here. And then this is an idea right here. I want to give credit where credit's due. This is a brilliant idea that I got from Greg Judy. This is just a fiberglass post drove in at an angle, and I suggest you do this at every creek point, whether you have, even if you don't do anything else that I've said today, do this one right here. And the reason is in the hot summertime, it's nice just to have this so that you don't have to worry about it. But you know, usually your creek's still soft enough, but when this creek's flowing, you just about cannot keep a tread-in post there. I mean, it's going to pop up under pressure. I mean, I have put rocks all the way around it and things like that and made it work, but it's not convenient. By taking a post like this post I bought at Tractor Supply, it's a 3/8 of an inch post. Put some more of that soft galvanized wire around there, made a little pigtail on there so it's easy to just wrap all the way around here. See, I can just wrap it all the way around and put it back on if I want to. And then that just pulls upward tension. And the genius of this is driving it in at an angle makes it to where if I make this post straight, I can grab it by hand and pull it right out pretty easily. But if because it's at an angle, once tension gets on this, the more tension gets on it, the harder the angle is, and the much harder it is. I mean, you cannot pull it out. So it makes it to where it's really easy to use, but you can also use just this 3/8 fiberglass post. I mean, I think that when I bought them, they cost me, I think, $1. I think they're up to close to $2 now. Everything's doubled in price, but that's still cheap compared to most of your posts. And then we go on down the line, and really we're just trying to find the most convenient, easy places that hook up. But we're not just going for the least amount of hookups, okay? What we're going for is the least amount of work overall. So if I look over here, I can point down there, you won't see it, but right over in here is a tree, and then over there is another tree. So you ask yourself, well, why not just come straight over here and then turn around and go that way rather than zigzagging through the woods? Well, the answer is right here grows up. So now I'm always having to bring a four-wheeler over or run new posts in there or something like that. Whereas back here, the sun is off of it. I don't get a lot of growth on there, so I don't have to worry about this woods back in here growing up on me too bad. I don't ever have to worry about cleaning it up. Plus, these points are always here. They work really good. I'm gonna see if I can find a link on Amazon as well to these. I don't know if I can find one or not. If I can, y'all look in the description below. I'll have all that stuff. Anything that I can find is gonna be in there. I've said this before, but I only want to put, even if it's on Amazon, I don't like to put the link in there unless it's really, really good and I really like the product. So if it's not in there, there's a chance that I just didn't like what I found. But you can see what we did here. So we just zigzagged through here. This is a shaded area, so you're less likely to get a whole bunch of growth back in here. And these things are stout enough that it can stand the zigzag just fine. So you can see here, then we just go over to this willow. And then we will have to do something in here. You'll always, this is a far enough stretch between trees. There wasn't any trees. There's that one right there, but then there's nothing in between there. So we'll have to put in a tread-in post or two right here. There's just nothing you can do about it. So we may put a timeless post or one of those little small posts that I just told you about back over there to the side and hook to that, or we may just always use a tread-in post. One way or the other, we want to make sure that we can always brush hog through here, so I hate putting in anything permanent if I don't have to, unless I can still brush hog it. But you can see there, and then from that last tree, we go straight to the fence. We hook right into the fence, and we're good to go. This creek goes all the way through to the other end of our property, so we're going to do this all the way down this creek. Now, we've done this in several places on our land, so we're actually going to do this all along and several in this creek right here, and that makes life a lot easier in the summertime. And we do that in several strategic places, like several areas throughout our land. Just find trees, find little things that we can hook off to that don't, it's not like a permanent spot. I mean, it is a permanent spot, but it's not a permanent fence. And you're not stopping yourself from brush hogging. You've still got flexibility, and you're still able to continue to keep your rotation up. Because in the summertime is the most important time to be doing your dense rotation, and for us, it's the hardest time. And when I say hard, it is extremely difficult. There's a lot of challenges that we run into, and we'll talk about that more in other days. But this is one good way to stop that. So now we're just going to go all the way down this creek, finding points along the way that we can anchor into, and then it'd make it easy enough to just anchor from here and go straight up to that other powered up fence, and we're done. We're there. You might have 2 tread-in posts between there. It is a pain, but you're not putting in miles and miles of tread-in posts. So, all right, guys, like and subscribe.